Hey, good afternoon and welcome to the Cruise Amigos live from Virginia. I'm Chillie Falls. Your host, our co-host over there in London is Pete Hall. He's the guy with a little thin hair up top.
And the tea.
And a cup of tea today.
Yes,
and who knows where John is from up there in Minnesota. He's maybe he's out planting plants. I don't know where
it could
John
be flying, Chillie.
He's actually, he could be flying. He could be out in his plane. But anyway, he actually is working, which Pete and I are not working. So he might actually be doing something. But anyway, our guest today is, of course, our lovely friend Allison More from Glasgow. And we're going to be talking about Dubrovnik. And Allison, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
All right, we appreciate it. Now, tell me how you got. I thought I remembered in the back of my brain, my pea brain, that you didn't go on a cruise to get to Dubrovnik like many people have.
No.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so in 2017, I had a big birthday. I won't tell everybody how big it was. I'll let everybody guess that one. And I decided to make that year memorable and go to places that I hadn't visited. So Croatia had been on my bucket list for quite some time. And we can do flights fairly easily from the UK and especially Scotland. They go direct to Dubrovnik. So yeah, that was the first place on my bucket list that I decided I had to tick off, was to do Dubrovnik for a city break, and I combined it with Kotor and Montenegro.
Got to interrupt you, Chillie, very quickly. Emma, hello Emma. We have our lovely Emma from Emma Cruises. Cruises isn't just for old people, saying this isn't Sunday. It is Sunday, Emma. We're stuck in Sunday. It's Groundhog Day. It's Sunday. And Emma says, hey, Pete, hi, Chillie, hi, Allison as well. So, hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
We're all confused.
All right, I'll take a half a second. And Emma, so you understand, Pete and I got married. Well, sort of. We married Chillie Chats and Cruises for Solos, the Cruise Amigos, the Sunday show. And we're doing a combination of both. The Sunday show stays the same from over there in London with Pete and John and I. And then midweek, it could be any time, any day or night or different times or whatever. We're doing Cruise Amigos live from Virginia. So for us, it's Sunday. To confuse you, absolutely.
Good.
All right. Now, back to you, Allison. We got Emma taken care of.
Yeah.
All right. I've got a bunch of pictures loaded up here. Just talk us through them.
Oh, well. Okay, so yeah, that's a fabulous view of Dubrovnik, looking down onto the old town and the little island of Lokrum there to the left. That was probably taken, I think, we did the hop on hop off bus. I did that, so that was taken, I think, from that. That's kind of the view from just north, as you say, of the old town. Fabulous view.
Yeah, it is lovely.
Yeah, and that's the harbour of the old town. So once you enter the main gates and walk down the main street, there's buildings at the bottom. There's a big square and buildings at the bottom. If you walk through those, that is the harbour of the old town, not the port, the main port. That's the old town harbour. Just beautiful down there, great atmosphere.
Emma actually cruised there, Allison, yeah, and she said that she actually walked into town instead of getting a transfer to save a little bit of money, which is what I would do. And the walk was great, Emma says. Yeah. Walk was great.
So easy to get about Dubrovnik, whether you're walking or public transport. I find Dubrovnik so easy to navigate, very easily. Yeah, so that I think we did when I was there. I did a boat trip. Boat trips all over, very common in Dubrovnik. You can do them from the port, from the harbour. So yeah, that was one of the 3 island boat tours we did, 3 different islands. That was the view. So we stayed in a place called Lapad. That's an area of Dubrovnik. We didn't stay in the old town. So that was the view from my balcony, believe it or not, looking out to the
Nice.
Lapad. Yeah, it was just stunning. It was beautiful. Yeah. And that's actually in the old town, the main street, looking down to the square, and that was at night. One of the night views, busy throughout the day.
Wow.
I mean, I went, it was sort of the end of April, beginning of May. And even then, I was surprised at how busy it was, how many people were about, loads of cruise ships. So they obviously took in a lot of people.
Speaking of cruise ships, Alison, the Cruise Amigos, we are going to be on a cruise ship, you know, and coming from Venice, and we visit. We're going to be there on the 9th of October in town. Now, we're only there for a day. So as Emma says, she walked off the ship and into town.
Very easy, yeah.
What would you recommend for us to do if we're only there for a few hours? Is there a must-see place to go to? Oh, hi, John, by the way.
Hi, John. Yeah, for me, you have to go to the old town. It is just the atmosphere. To see it, it's just the most stunning place. Plenty of things to do. Once you go into the old town, there's little streets to wander up and down with restaurants and little cafe bars. There's a square with things going on. There's also museums and things like that inside the walls. The walls are free to get into. But if you're feeling energetic, which I did as well, you might see some of my photos, you can actually walk around the city walls, and the views from there are just absolutely stunning. So for me, if you're going to Dubrovnik, you really have to go and see the city walls, the old town and the city walls.
Is that part of the old town?
Yeah, that's down at the end of the main street of the old town, and that's the square. So there was a big church there, and I think the bit off to the left where you see that crowd there, that's how you get to the harbour. There was little breaks in the walls to get to the harbour, and over to my right, which you can't see, there's quite a lot of cafes. And if you're a people watcher, or if you just want to sit and have a chill out, that is the place to be, to sit and watch everybody. It's fascinating, just the amount of lots and lots of walking tours, people going about in groups or just on their own, but it's the most fascinating and just place ever with a fantastic atmosphere. So I definitely recommend. So that was walking the city walls. So that was one of the views that we had. I think I probably took maybe about, I don't know how long you can do it if you're going at pace, but I did it in about 3-4 hours. I decided to take my time, take in the views, just rest up. There's little cafes and little bars all the way around that you can stop for refreshments and just enjoy the views. So that was one of the views from the city walls.
Wow, looks fantastic. Emma says hi, John, by the way.
Yeah,
yes, I'll say hi, John, too. Sorry. I figure you were out planting pot plants or something.
No, I'm on a tractor, though. I've been on a tractor all day, and it's still dripping off me here. So this is my respite for a little while. Now,
Allison, one of the things that bothers me, worries me, I guess you'd say, is if that fella from up there in Minnesota, John Reitmeyer, if he's with us on this trip to Dubrovnik, he's liable to fire off that damn cannon at me.
he may well try.
I'm the MacGyver of Minnesota.
You both have to climb up the city walls to get to it, so that might be your defense, Chillie. Maybe just stay down on ground level.
I'll use it too.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
So yeah, again, that's one of the other views from the city walls. The roof, the view, if you get to the highest point, you see right over the old town. The roofs are all that kind of orange and different kind of colours, and it's just an absolutely stunning view. I mean, everywhere you look, you can probably see I took numerous photos. Everywhere you look, the view is just absolutely breathtaking. So that is one of the, what I was telling you about before, the 3-island tour that we did. I did that from the port. I didn't do that from the harbour. I went down to the port in Dubrovnik and took it from there. And that was one of the islands that we visited. There's 3 of them, Sipan, Lockwood and Kolachep, I think it was. So it was a full day boat trip, and I say there's so many boat trips that you can take if you're there if you don't want to do the city walls, or maybe you've visited them before. If you're coming on a cruise ship, then there's so many island tours that you can take, and so many different islands around Dubrovnik. And full days out, you get lunch, you get some drinks on the boat as well, and just a really nice alternative if you've already seen the city walls. Okay. That was down in a little place called Cavtat, C-A-V-T-A-T. We took the hop on, hop off one of the days there, and that was kind of the end of the line. It was about half an hour or so outside of Dubrovnik, but instead of taking the bus back to Dubrovnik, decided to hop off there and chill out. Beautiful little place, lovely harbour, beautiful beach. And decided to take a water taxi back to Dubrovnik. We thought that would be a nice alternative. So that was our water taxi coming to pick us up. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was about a half-hour trip maybe back to Dubrovnik. And the great thing about that was that it actually sails into the harbour of the old town that you saw before. So that was a beautiful, beautiful trip.
Chillie, Chillie, Lynn says hello. Can you see me, by the way, Chillie, off the photo?
Can
you see us?
Can I see you?
Yeah. I can just see the photograph in a moment.
Oh, hang on.
Us, yeah. Lynn, hi. Yeah, Lynn says hello. A big hello, yeah. And one of the breaking news, one of the things that we're thinking of doing, because Lynn mentioned it as well, we did one of our shows before, which is the Katarina line. The Katarina line is a local Croatian cruise line. They have 62 ships. They are absolutely incredible. We fell in love with them, to be honest with you. We really did. And we are thinking of doing a cruise before, because we're going on the Dawn next year from the 3rd of October. So we're going to be visiting Croatia, and we are thinking of going on the Katarina line. If you haven't seen the Katarina line, please check out our shows from before where we spoke to Daniel. It's absolutely incredible, an incredible cruise line, yeah? And so we're hoping some people might want to join us in Croatia on these beautiful luxury ships. So that will be around about the middle of September. That's breaking news, yeah?
If we can get there, we should go right now.
I want to go now.
Oh, yeah, because, 14, they have every kind of size ship. If we got 14 people, we'd go. If we got 25, we'd go. If we got 80, we could go. But Croatia. It's how to get there and how to get. My airplane will not take you guys. I'm sorry. It won't.
And it won't take us because Croatia, sadly, last week was put on the red list. And could you believe... I couldn't believe it. There were 17,000 Brits on holiday in Croatia who suddenly played the wacky races to get back to the UK before they were quarantined at 4 a.m. 17,000, which is an amazing amount of people.
Hey, John, there's a problem if you and I would be on the same airplane.
Well,
Boeing would have had to have made it. No,
even my little wanna-buy airplane could take you and me. No gas and no luggage, but it can take us. Oh, look at that.
There we go.
That was one of the other islands that we visited on the 3-island tour. And the interesting thing about the Katarina show the other day, he said there's so many islands, and although we only visited 3 on that particular trip that I was on, you pass so many others and you see just little boats just moored in beaches and that. So there's just, even on the way to these islands, there's so much scenery to see. They're just stunning.
I bet those are a couple resort hotels right in the middle of that screen.
Yeah, I think that was on Sipan. I think that was possibly on Sipan Island. The hotels looked quite luxury. I think obviously you can only get there by boat. But yeah, once you're on the island, just pure luxury and chilling out. It would be fantastic. My hotel, or so I tell everyone.
More.
Yeah. So this is Hotel More in Dubrovnik. It's a boutique 5-star hotel. I was quite amused to find that there was a hotel in Dubrovnik named after me. I did try to get a room there, but it was fully booked. Even though I tried to bribe them with my surname, but they weren't having it. So that's in Lapad. So that was just a short walk from where I was staying. The interesting thing about that is there's also a cave bar there as well, which I think I had some photos of that at some point.
Yeah.
It was one of the must-see bars, again, if you've got time, just to get out to Lapad, which is not too far from the port or in Dubrovnik. But yeah, just a beautiful hotel, very unusual, say, with a cave bar and plenty of terraces outside, and you can sit right down by the water's edge, and it's just so peaceful and just a lovely location.
Unfortunately, the cave bar was with this right next to this picture, I think, but it gets shuffled in the reloading process.
Okay.
And I'll never find it if I go looking. So I'll just keep working my way down, and we'll get back to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one of the main street again. That's a view looking down kind of from the entrance right the way down to the square at the bottom, all lit up at night. I think that was probably taken after I walked the city walls. I think we stayed there and had something to eat. And
what time of year was it, Alison?
Sorry, Pete.
What time of year was it?
That was the end of April, start of May. I went, so it was for me it was really nice weather, at 25, 26 I think at that time of year. Got chilly a little bit at night, but for me, coming from a freezing cold Scotland, some other people are going to be going 25 and you found it warm, but coming from Scotland, it was superb, especially that time of year. The weather was great. Yeah. One
of the things that I've noticed that by you doing a trip there as opposed to cruising there, you get to the benefit of doing things at night, which so often on cruise ships, we go in the morning, we leave in the afternoon, and we never see the lovely places we've been in the evening.
Well, that's actually one of the benefits, Chillie, of the Katarina line. Because the Katarina line, the local Croatian line, they port overnight in every port. So what you do is you have breakfast, you have lunch, but you actually have your dinner in the local port you're visiting, and you get to try all the local cuisine, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah,
I do too.
That's another thing which I thought was very attractive. So
Chillie, I did call ahead, and the local judges are on. They're on shift by 6:30 in the morning, so you actually can get thrown in jail and bail yourself out and get back to the Katarina before she leaves. So it's a great plan.
Yeah.
Note of that. Yeah, so that's another view from the city walls down looking at the harbour. So you can see some people standing there to the left. You're really high up at some points. It goes quite low, but then at other points you climb up quite high. It's quite surprising how high the city walls go.
It's amazing.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's again taken from one of the 3 island tours. I say you can see the scenery there, and every little village is just beautiful, and everybody's so welcoming, and Croatians are so friendly and happy to see tourists and everything. So yeah. That's more of the city wall views. I say everywhere you looked, there were these views. And I think up to the left there's a cable car in Dubrovnik as well. Not something that I had time to do, and it was quite cloudy at the top, I think, the day I was planning to do it. But yeah, that's another thing someone can do if they've already walked the city walls and other things. There's a cable car, and apparently the views from up there again are absolutely stunning.
It's spectacular. Yeah.
Goes all the way up what the mountain like.
Yeah, it doesn't go up too far, but yes, it's goes up just at the back of the old town. You can take the cable car up to the back. Awesome. I think there's a restaurant possibly up there. One of my favourite photos. I do like that one. I'm pretty sure that's Sipan. I could be wrong, but I think that was probably my favourite out of the 3 islands. I just found it so stunning, just a beautiful little village. And you get some time when you go on these trips. You get some time in each island to have a coffee, have some lunch, or chill out. So they give you a little bit of time in each place to explore.
What was the price like, Alison? What were the prices like?
Yeah, I don't think it was very much. I mean, just from memory, in pounds, I think it was maybe about £30, £35 for the day.
Okay.
Not expensive at all.
And what would it normally cost?
I don't find Croatia expensive at all. Certainly, I think the hotels were a little bit more expensive, but the transport and everything like that was really cheap. I found it, and their transport, especially in Dubrovnik, I think was just excellent. Buses so easily from the port into the town and you know, to the different areas. I think yeah, very good.
And can you remember how much it would normally cost to eat out and to drink out, roughly?
I think it was on par. Now, obviously, Croatia's not. They don't use the euro, or that you can use the euro. Their currency is the kuna, even though they're in the EU. Use the
Sounds
Croatian
kind of
kuna.
fishy.
Yeah. But no, I think it wasn't any more expensive. I didn't think than anywhere else. To be quite honest, in Europe, I think it was pretty much on par. I didn't find it expensive. The hotels, I must admit, I thought the hotels were expensive. But in Dubrovnik, and certainly Montenegro as well, it's quite common to use Airbnbs. There was an awful lot of villas you could hire fairly cheaply and things like that. So that seemed to be a popular thing to do.
And I have to throw a comment in. I love your pictures, all of your pictures. But that
Yes.
is
Look at that.
That's a professional photography picture.
That's
just
one of my
awesome.
favorites. Yeah, that is one of my favorites. I must admit, I think that kind of captured the island really well. Yeah. You
did very, very well on that one.
So that was a view. They had these kind of little turrets that you could actually go inside. And I don't know if you can see down in the bottom there. There's
the turtle.
Yeah, it's a tortoise or a turtle. And my son had a tortoise.
I didn't know you'd been there, Chillie.
Yeah. So that was you can go in the little turret and kind of take photos. So I thought that was another unusual one as well, looking back at the city walls with the wee tortoise. Yeah, just another view, and you can see all the different colour of the rooftops there. Once you get the whole view of it, it's just stunning. And I don't know if I've got a picture of it, Chillie, but at one point when you're quite high up looking down, there was like a basketball court that someone had laid out in quite high up in the town, I think, but sort of almost in the rooftops. So yeah, it just reminds you that it's a normal village inside the city with people living there.
If the ball goes out of the court, Alison, it's going to go all the way down to the beach, I guess, yeah?
I imagine they've lost quite a few, but yeah, it does remind you when you're walking around that it is actually a village, you know, a town with people living inside it. It's not just a touristy place.
You've got a couple of comments, by the way, John.
Friends, I want to introduce Mimi Archer. She's the bottom person there, and she and I met on a cruise at sea, or a learning at sea. What's it called? Seminar at sea. A couple of years ago. She is in the travel agent part of our group, and she and her husband, they just got back from Australia before the coronavirus hit.
Nice.
So they had some neat times, and she's really a neat person. So hi, Mimi. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, hi, Mimi. Hi, Mimi.
Emily asked, what's the mask situation in Croatia? Of course, you weren't there in mask times.
No.
We should have asked Daniel that.
Yeah, we should have asked Daniel that. I have no idea, to be honest with you, on that one.
But I can find out. Hang on, I'll be right back.
I know they went down to 0 for a long time, and then they've spiked up a little bit recently.
So what's the local cuisine?
I don't know, Emily. We'll see if we can find out. So I can always send Daniel a message too and ask.
Yeah, the local cuisine, Alison. What would you recommend to eat to try the local food?
I had the most amazing octopus down at the port in Dubrovnik. Just got off the plane. Head down to the port to pick the bus up to go to Montenegro. Nipped into a little bar on the just down at the port opposite the cruise port. I had the most amazing grilled octopus. So a lot of seafood, a lot of octopus, as you can imagine. Yeah.
Guys, when we're there, we've got to go for lunch octopus, don't we? Oh, we have to do that.
I love octopus.
That sounds incredible.
And Croatia and all around, you know, the Greek islands as well. They do some amazing octopus grills. One of my favourites. But I have to say, the one in Dubrovnik was just, I would go back to Dubrovnik just for that. It was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, that was taken in the little place called Kavtat, where we got the water taxi from. Another beautiful place. Quite quiet, but just so chilled out. And you could sit and, you know, look at that scenery all day long. The water, as you can see, is very, very clear, just beautiful.
Incredible.
There
we go. There's my bar, my cave bar.
Yeah.
I've got Dubrovnik masks when you need it.
Yeah, it was incredible to go in that. It was just an amazing place, and you can walk about it. We didn't sit inside because it was beautiful outside. We sat beside the water, but just an absolutely stunning place that they've done to it. It's quite big. There's little kind of alleyways that you can sit in, as you can see the seats there. But just an amazing bar.
And it's really in a cave.
Yes.
Remind us where that is, Alison. Remind us where that is, the cave bar.
That's in a part of Dubrovnik called Lapad. Okay. So that's kind of just north of the port and kind of, I think, west of the old town. It's just one of the little peninsulas that you can stay in. Maybe about 10, 15 minutes from the old town at most.
Is that by walking?
Sorry, by bus. Yeah, okay. About 10 minutes by bus. But you could easily walk it from the port. Not too far from the port at all. Really easy to walk, yeah.
I'll hit your lift of Chillie.
John, did you say you had a mask answer?
I do. The Dubrovnik Times has, keeps updates on that. Starting Monday, July 13th, wearing of protective face masks in stores across Croatia became mandatory. Up to then, it was only obligatory to wear a face mask on public transport. However, on Monday, that all changed. Face masks or medical masks required for employees of healthcare institutions, persons visiting patients, drivers, other employees in public transport, passengers in public transport, employees in the catering industry, come in contact with guests, participate in serving and prep of food, beverages, other persons who are obliged to do so. So it's pretty much at least the way it is in Minnesota. Any servers, if you're in any public place, all gatherings more than 100, you got to keep a written record of anybody that was in the group. So they're doing the, contact tracing. But yeah, it's masks everywhere now.
Us Brits, we can still go there. We can still fly there.
Yeah.
It's just that you have to quarantine for 2 weeks when you come back. Nikki says gorgeous photos, by the way, and she's meant to be there this fall. Sigh. I know, Nikki.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they're doing with the city in the old town at the moment, because it's literally free to get in, and anybody can walk in and out. So whether they're restricting it, because even when we went in May, it was quite busy. A lot of people doing walking tours, etc. So it'll be interesting to see if they're actually maybe restricting how many people, because the streets inside, apart from the main street's quite wide in the square, but a lot of the alleyways that you come up are very narrow where the bars and things are. So it'll be interesting to see if they're restricting people at the moment, how many can go in.
Well, I found it very interesting that Katarina started sailing in June, restarted again with their own protocols, because that was before their government even came out with protocols. And obviously they've done it right, because they have had no problems. So hats off to Daniel and all the folks at Katarina.
Yeah, well done, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, there we back on the Dubrovnik.
Yeah, so you can actually see, and that's not even I'm not even at the top, so you can actually see the slope and how high up you can actually go. So you need to quite energetic to walk around the city walls, but they actually have 2 or 3 exit points around the city walls as well. So if you start walking them and feel that you don't want to go all the way around, there are exit routes that you can leave, so you don't need to do the whole of it. But there's people you get guided tours of the walls if you want. There's obviously Dubrovnik's famous for Game of Thrones. So there's lots of Game of Thrones walks. If you've got Game of Thrones fans, they'll take you around and point out all the bits from Games of Thrones. There's, believe it or not, you can even go on a selfie tour of the city walls, and the amount of people that were going on selfie tours, and they obviously get pointed out the best places around the city walls to take selfies. I've never seen so many people take selfies in my life.
Did you go to Split, by the way? Because Gretchen, they ported at Split in Croatia.
No, I haven't been to Split, and I think we can fly there from Scotland now. I had to look the other day, but I don't think it was so accessible before. But yeah, definitely that's somewhere I want to go. Yeah, that's so you can see the port there, just on the right,
yep.
And the bridge going across the port. So we did this on the hop on, hop off. So they take you across the bridge so you can see the view of the port, and you can see a couple of ships down there on the right hand side. And that's also where you can do the 3 island tours and things like that from. So the hop on, hop off actually goes back along the bridge, and then it kind of goes up the back of Dubrovnik, so you get the views of the whole of the city.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just stunning.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's the island of Lochram. Again, I'm not a big Game of Thrones fan, and maybe if some people are, they can correct me, but I believe that's quite prominent in Game of Thrones. Possibly, maybe people watching might know that, but I think you can do, again, water taxis or ferries across to Lochram. So that's kind of on the south side of Dubrovnik, of the old town.
So maybe, guys, we could act out a scene from Game of Thrones when we're over there. What do you think? Yeah? We could have our own little kingdoms. How about that? The Cruise Amigos kingdom. We can take over.
Does Game of Thrones have some big fat guy that sits in the bar on the square and drinks?
Many of them.
Right up my alley. I'll take that part.
I think the new one does.
We should figure out which personality type each of us might be. I think I'm the little short guy. I think that's my personality type.
Gretchen says hello, and hello, Robert, as well, mate. How you doing?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, just again, that's a lower down view from walking the city walls. I see you can see what height you go from being so low down, then so high up. But there are lots of sailing boats you'll see as you go around. There are lots of water taxis, boats out, whether they're doing official tours or people on their own boats. But yeah, it's very much a life on the sea out there. That one, I think, again, that might have been Kolosep, I think, one of the third island we went to on the 3 island tour. Slightly smaller island than Sipan, if I think I'm right. But yeah, just another little small harbour that we docked in just for a short while.
I don't know. That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Tell you.
The views as you come along there, you can see you can see all the different kind of islands and views that you get, no matter where you're going to. So that's a daylight. That's a daylight view from the balcony of the hotel we're staying in. So my hotel and my bar are just across there, across to the left. So. And at the time you can't see it, but just along to the right, they were kind of developing. There was a small beach there, but I think they were developing it at the time to make it more of a sandier beach and a better kind of resort, I think, for the hotels and that round in Lapad.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's another good photo. That was from the one of the three island tours again. I think Kolosep again. Weather was very kind to us. A little bit chilly out when we were sailing, but yeah, it was sunshine. So
Sean, hi Sean. Sean's watching as well. And as Sean says, not many prettier places than Croatia. And Sean, yeah, I have to agree. It looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah,
it really does. I know Sean visited when it was the old Yugoslavia. So incredible. Incredible place.
Yeah. Well, certainly when you go into the old town, there's a museum in there, and you can certainly go in and read all about the history of Croatia as well, and it's so interesting. So if you're in the old town at all, I'd definitely recommend taking half an hour out your day to go and visit that and just, you know, read up on the history and things. Another view from Lapad, sun going down.
You're talking about the history.
We can own property as Americans. We can own property in Croatia, and we can go there for up to 6 months, and then you have to leave for 90 days, and then you can do another 6 months. So if you calculated it perfectly, you could live there for 3/4 of every year.
Yeah,
it would just cycle through when you could be there. But as Americans, didn't check on for British or other people, but Croatians welcome Americans to come there, buy a home with one of these kind of views that you're showing, and own property and basically do business there.
Wow.
Talk about the history.
Let's go, Chillie.
Do what?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, no kidding.
You talk about the history, Chillie and stuff. I do know that I think the 3rd largest Roman amphitheater in the world is in Croatia. I didn't know that. I'm not sure exactly which one. The 3rd largest in the whole world. Incredible.
Amazing. Yeah, that's a lovely view for us. So that's the water taxi that we just got off. You see there to the left, the Kaptat Dubrovnik water taxi, and it takes you, as I said, right into the harbour at the old town, which was just fantastic to sail into, and then you just get off there and walk around, and you're straight into the old town at the bottom where the square was that you saw before. But yeah, another favourite view of mine.
I'd be happy just to get on a water taxi and ride around for the day. I'd be perfectly happy.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. I mean, there's so many boat tours you can do. There's everywhere. I mean, in the old town outside, there's a tourist information place there. But even when you're walking about Lapad, you know, they're all advertising boat trips, whether you want to do a short one, an hour, you know, all day. There's plenty of choice. That's us actually taken from the boat. So you can see us actually just sailing there into the harbour.
Now, we've got a message from Sean, by the way, Chillie. I can't pronounce it, so you got to put it on the screen.
And I think some of the cruise ships, if they don't port or dock in the port, I think some of them maybe tender over this side of Dubrovnik and maybe tender into the old town. I think they do that as well, because there was a number of cruise ships on that side of Dubrovnik that I noticed as well.
Now, see, Pete, when I send you up to the tower and the church over there in the middle of that picture, I'll meet you. There's a little bar down here, the little cafe bar on the water. I'll meet you there when you get done walking up to the top of that tower.
I'll do it. I'll be there. I'm happy to climb up. Absolutely, it looks incredible.
Yeah, there you can see that's a good view as well of the town. You can see again how high up you are, and all the different roofs, and yeah, the view's just amazing. And as I say, there's if you are doing the city walls, if you've not done it before, there are little stops all the way around. There's little cafes and bars that you can take a rest, a good excuse to have some refreshment all the way around. So you don't need to rush around. You can take as much time as you like, and it's well worth doing so.
Allison, Minnie has said another beautiful place just south along the Dalmatian coast is Montenegro, Kotar, and it has awesome settings as well.
Yeah. So that's when we went to Dubrovnik, I decided I wanted to go to Montenegro as well. That was on my bucket list. So I took a bus straight from Dubrovnik down to Montenegro. It's about a 2-hour drive. You can do, I'd imagine the cruise ships will do, if they're not porting in Montenegro, I think a lot of them do. If they go to Dubrovnik, you'll see it anyway. So it's probably not something you want to do from a cruise ship. But you can certainly do that if you're staying in Dubrovnik. Or I decided to go down for 2-3 days, and just the most stunning place. It too has an old town and city walls on a much smaller scale than Dubrovnik, but just well, if I do manage to join you on the cruise next year, this sailing, wow. Well,
we're going to be there.
Point out in answer to your statement, Allison has an equal amount of pictures from Montenegro. I didn't have time and enough space to do that many pictures on one show. Maybe we'll have to have her back.
Well, we're going to be there.
I take so many pictures, it's ridiculous.
As you know, we're going to be in Montenegro on board the Dawn, so we're going to be docking there, obviously. So what would you recommend us to do there for the day? A must do if we're coming off the cruise ship in Montenegro?
Well, you can walk very easily into the old town if you're porting. A lot of the ships tender again, but some of them, the smaller ones, do port there. The Star was in when I was there, which kind of I was delighted to be on the Star. Not so long after that, I saw it in there. And Asmara, a few ships were in there, but you can walk. The old town's very, very small. In Montenegro, in Kotor, sorry, and you can walk what they call the city walls, but it's quite a strenuous walk up a hill. So I would probably say just enjoy Kotor, or something that I've researched, which I would hope to do if I did go on the cruise. I believe they do tuk-tuk tours, and they go to a completely different part of Montenegro, around to, I think, the port of Montenegro and down to Budva and some places like that. So
we got to do that, guys. We've got to do the tuk-tuks. We've got to do those tours, haven't we?
Yeah, I think you go on a convoy of tuk-tuks, and it just looks incredible. Get you out there and see the country. I think because I loved Kotor Old Town, it's lovely, but I think because it is in some respects similar to Dubrovnik, but in a much smaller scale, you probably get similarities. So I probably recommend. I took a boat tour there. When you sail into Kotor, you'll see a little island in the middle before you kind of do a 90 degrees turn. Lady of the Rock Island. So I did a boat trip out there, a speedboat trip out there, and watched some of the ships sailing in, and that was incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
there's John's cannon again.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of at the start, I think, of the walk, and it kind of shows the different aspects that you look at. You get views all around Dubrovnik from the city walls.
Wow.
And it really is. It's a wow view, like you say, John. Every corner you turn. I think that is pretty much near the start, by the looks of it. Down to the right there, you'll sort of see the entrance coming in into the old town. There's sort of a square there, which is a hub again. The hop-on, hop-off buses stop there. If you're taking the local buses, they'll stop there. There's tourist information place. There's little bars and things like that. So that's kind of the main square outside of the city walls. That was one of the views from as I was on the boat trip. I think that was just some of the places we passed.
Is that the house John's going to buy?
Could be.
I think that'd be. I actually like it a little more on one level, but that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take the top level, John. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. All right. That'll be good.
You let me have that, yeah?
As long as it's close to pasta and seafood and steak and other Mediterranean things, I'm okay.
Oh, and octopus.
Well, that's the seafood part.
Yeah. That's just a view of one of the side streets. Dubrovnik, the old town, has many side streets like that, just beautiful, and you can spend hours just wandering up and down the different side streets. They've all got cafes and restaurants and little shops and everything, but you could really get yourself lost in there. It's just incredible.
Were you with a group of people?
I went on my own, but I met up friends that I'd met who were solo travellers from other travels that I'd been on. So one of my friends flew in from London. We went to Montenegro, and then we met up with another friend. We joined up. So yeah, I flew in from Scotland myself. Yeah.
Okay.
And guys, I have to.
So easy to do.
It's a work day for me again because Chillie keeps doing these in the middle of the week. It is so much fun to jump on here. And, we got to invite Mimi on. She and her husband, I believe she's got a whole plethora of these like from down under. So,
we do it.
Mimi, get your slides in order because we want to hear from you and share some of the cruising down on the other side of the double pond here at some time. I bid you adieu, Allison. It's always fun to catch up with you and hear these things. Thank you so much. Sunday, we got an exciting show planned. So we're just looking forward to the fun. I have to get on now with Wyoming, believe it or not. I don't know that I've ever talked to Wyoming before. We're going to do some hemp business. Then I'm back out to the field. Looking forward to a wonderful time. So thank you. Sorry to have fun, but it's my life. So
okay, John. Thanks for coming.
You bet.
Appreciate it. Bye, John.
All right. Goodbye, John.
We can talk about him now, can't we? John's gone now, but we can talk about
I talk
him.
about John Dewey's face.
Oh, what is he like? You know what I mean?
Let's see. There's two more of the tall ones.
Yeah, just the city walls, and you can see it's not quite a smooth walk all the way around. You see, there's quite a lot of your down steps and back up. So there's a lot of it. So you have to have some form of fitness, I would say, to do it, because it does take a while and it's quite strenuous, but well worth doing. And that's one of the views. That's the main street as you go into the old town down to the port. So that was kind of a view looking up above the entrance gate, going down to the main town. And you can see even in the start of May there how many people are there already, and it was quite busy. Yeah.
One of the things, in my situation, of course, I have scooters for the boats, for the ships.
Yeah.
Sometimes they let me take the scooters off and would give me some transportation, which would be lovely.
Yeah.
Or in situations where I can't take the scooter off, I get off and go find a little local tavern. That's one of my favorite things. Of course, I love the hop on, hop off buses too. I've done that literally all over the world. That's probably my favorite excursion. And I rarely do I jump off. I generally just ride it from start to finish and back in the same place. And well worth my money. So
Mimi has said, by the way, she said, sure, John, whatever you can arrange. So she says she's definitely going to come on the show and talk about everything. But she said, I can't believe this, I'm off to ASTA now, the American Society of Travel Advisors presentation. I can't believe you're just leaving us to go to the ASTA American Society of Travel Advisors presentation. Mimi, what do you like? And please say hello to everybody there from the Cruise Amigos, and of course, Allison in Croatia.
That's great. All right. That's going to wrap us up for today. And again, Allison, we just love you to death. And you have lots more pictures that you and I are going to have to talk about doing more shows.
And so before you wrap it up, Chillie, this is our second show now talking about Croatia after we did the show with the Katarina line. We've just kind of fallen in love with that part of the world, Chillie, haven't we?
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's a part of the world that people kind of forget. We think about Italy and France and Spain and Greece, but Croatia is just absolutely stunning.
Well, the Cruise Amigos, we are coming. We are going. Thank you, Sean, by the way. Great show,
yes,
Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
It's not a great show from us. It's a great show from Allison and our wonderful photographs. Allison, you've been fantastic. Chillie.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Allison, and everybody that's joined us today. We appreciate it. We'll keep doing shows like this. They've just been wonderful. So that's going to wrap us up for Allison and John, who's not here, and Pete. I'll bid you goodbye. We'll see you next time on the Cruise Amigos live from Virginia.
Bye.